Okay, just very briefly, a brief history of the Act, because it's a slightly unusual way of introducing legislation. It wasn't a government bill. It kind of dates back to Wales, the land of my fathers, where the Welsh introduced a prevention duty and a relief duty back in 2015. Now, in England, the government were very interested in introducing this type of legislation, but the voluntary sector kind of got in first. Crisis did a mystery shopping exercise to look at what sort of treatment single homeless people got, and the outcome of that was it wasn't that great, particularly in London. And they used it as a lobbying tool. They set up a group of experts to come up with a bill to try and get an MP to actually introduce it as a private member's bill. The government introduced a homelessness inquiry at the same time, and Crisis did get their MP, Bob Blackman from Harrow, backbench Tory MP and landlord, who was successful in the ballot. He introduced the private member's bill. Now, normally a private member's bill doesn't go anywhere unless the government actually support it, because you need time in Parliament to get a bill through. But the government did support it, and in fact it had all party support and obviously the voluntary sector as well, so it went through. But there was limited time for the government to introduce amendments. So there are some kind of areas where perhaps it's not quite as the government might have wanted, which we'll cover this morning in brief. So it got royal assent in April of last year, and it will be coming in from the 3rd of April, as you know. We've got a little model that we kind of share with people. We've now got 2 versions of it. The train at the moment, there's only 2 carriages. Prevention is something that you all do, hopefully, but it isn't a statutory duty, apart from to households that are in priority need and not intentionally homeless, and where they're threatened with homelessness within 28 days. If you're unsuccessful in preventing homelessness, you have to make that decision as to whether you owe the main duty, and you've got the 5 tests that you follow. The world will be different. There'll be 3 carriages, and you won't get to that main duty unless you've been through the relief carriage and hopefully the prevention carriage. So prevention, this is for all households that are threatened with homelessness, regardless of whether they're in priority need, whether they've got a local connection, or whether they're intentionally homeless. So it's a duty to everyone who's eligible and threatened with homelessness within 56 days. Ideally, you'll prevent homelessness. Obviously, that's not going to happen in every case. And sometimes people will approach you too late. They'll already be homeless. So either people that you've been unsuccessful with prevention or have approached you too late, they'll go into the relief carriage, and that will be a duty to all homeless households who are eligible. The only difference being you will be able to make a referral to another authority if they don't have a local connection with your authority. It'll only be at the end of the relief duty that the main duty would come in, or the intentionally homeless duty would come in. But nevertheless, you will be making your inquiries, investigations through that period.